I know you've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. This video wasn't particularly planned. I'll tell you how it started. There was a recording put up of When by the Kalin brothers and a couple of others, and one of the people who listened to it had a slight problem with the bit of rumble. Now, I didn't see the rumble as being too big a problem, but it's there. So I thought, well, okay, we'll take that on board. And you'll have seen yesterday's video where I used the Audacity to get rid of the rumble, and it worked quite successfully. However, it was suggested, and I thought it was a good idea, to try and see if you could get rid of the rumble by doing something to the turntable, because it was probably the motor that was the problem. Now, I reckon there's a problem with these turntables, and I'm not a great lover of belt drive. Well, I am a lover of belt drive turntables, don't get me wrong, but there are problems with making things cheap, and I think that having a belt drive turntable on the cheap is asking for trouble, because, and we'll get to that in a second. Let me just show you some pictures and I'll talk over them and we'll see where we go from there. You've all seen these entry-level suitcase players, things like this 1x1 and this Crosley. They're okay for what they are, or are they? I ask that because this is meant to be a better piece of equipment. It's a music centre, but it's got exactly the same turntable in it as those suitcase players, which is one of these. And you can see there it's £12.19. So for less than 16 quid, you can have it in your hand from China. Well, just how good or bad are they? I've never seen one in anything other than I've just seen the outside of one. And all the videos I've seen where they've featured these, they've just sort of referred to them as being not particularly good. And then they've just sort of, skirted over the fact that they're not very good. Or they've slammed them for not being very good. But either way, they've said they're not very good. But in what way are they not very good? It's a belt drive turntable, and it reproduces music. So my idea of, let's see if we can make it any better, or if it's a problem, is worth having a quick look, I thought. And this is what we've seen. $78, $45, $33, $78, $45. That is the sound of the motor just spinning up for the 3 different speeds. And as you can hear, 78 is really going for it. The differences between 45 and 33 is negligible. It's just a slight twitch on the trace, as you can see there. But the difference between that and 78, wow. The platter's held on with an E-clip on there, like that. I want to see if I can do anything about this motor noise and see if I can get it a bit quieter. I've taken this off. So we have a look in here. I sort of know what to expect, but I don't know. Yeah, right into the box. And it's a normal belt drive. Bit of grease on there. That's alright. Head belt off before it gets greasy. And have a quick look at the mechanism. So this is the motor. Let's see what it does now. Pick this up, switch it on, and just confirm it's actually on. Yeah, it's going around. That's 33. So if you can see it here, that's speed 1, that's speed 2, and that's speed 3. Doesn't sound too bad, but let's load it up a bit. Now it sounds noisy. Shut it off. Down. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try lubricating it from the top. I'm not going to take it apart, so I'll just apply some lube to the centre spindle. See how we get on with that. While we're here, let's have a look at this. This is the auto stop mechanism. All it is in essence is that rod gets pushed, turns that cam, and then that drives into the centre spindle and switches the switch. and it goes in the opposite direction for turning on. It's all a bit simple, a bit crude really. And then looking at this is not so much a bearing as a bush. All you've got is that washer there, the steel shaft, and then you've got the plastic sleeve of the platter. That's it. It's as simple as that. Reassembly is ridiculously easy. All you do is you pull that belt over that peg and then line it up over the spindle of the motor and put that on the main spindle and then turn it, and that's it. That's done. It takes a little bit of a tug, but trust it and it will work. That was the twang of the belt getting itself into the right position. As you can see there, it's now driving. Wipe off the grease because you're going to get grease on the centre spindle, and you're well away. That is now ready to go. All we've got to do now is put the E-clip back on. That's not absolutely vital, but it's probably a good idea. Then you can just turn it on to try it out, and hey presto, everything's fine. So that's it. I'm just going to put the E-clip on now, and sorted. But that motor is still noisy. Well, that's it taken apart and looked at, and I can only tell you that I'm absolutely astonished how, well, simple is one way of describing it, but crude is another. The auto stop mechanism sort of doubles up as being a slight anti-escape because it's attached to, it's applying drag all the time. The main bearing, which is literally a washer and grease and a plastic bush, I mean, it's incredible. It's hardly surprising they make some funny noises. And because the motor is only a cheap sort of brushed motor, it's all right at 33 and 45. You know, it's not good, but it's okay. But at 78, it's trying to go into orbit. It's just buzzing like a flipping, well, like a saw. You know, it ain't good. And that's where you're getting a lot of noise from. I mean, I think the 78 speed is basically a novelty that they put on just in order to be able to say it's got 78 RPM. It's not intended to be hi-fi. I mean, the whole thing isn't intended to be hi-fi. But, you know, when you're playing that at 78 on its own speakers, you're not really going to hear the buzzing, and you're going to have it loud enough that you can't physically hear the buzzing. So that's that. But, I mean, as a piece of equipment, it is really so simple and good. I'm surprised how good a results you can get out of it, considering how badly, well, I won't say badly put together it is, but how badly designed it. I mean, it's just horrible. I'm getting off the fence on this one. It's just not nice. So if you decide to get one, or if you get given something like this, it's worth having a play with, and you know, you might find it's better for playing your 78s than what you've got already. But you know, which is the situation I've got. But it's just not. Don't buy one unless you're really desperate. Don't buy one because you will be disappointed. They are that crude. It's only £12.19 plus postage, and that's including the cartridge. And the cartridges are a tenner, so you know, not a lot of money left on there. Anyway, that's it. If you'd like to give any comments, give us your experience, that'd be great. There's various things coming up, and you'll find a couple of interesting videos here, or you might like to subscribe. Anyway, catch you another time. Hope you got something from that. See you later. Bye.